he's one of our favorite guests. And last time we had him on, it was before the playing season, and you'd just given his quarterback his own golf cart, and now they're the 1 seed, and he didn't play a single down until week 18. How about them apples? I know if you put those things together, it sounds like he's not a significant part of this team, but he definitely is.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't mean to say that. He's David Bakhtiari of the offensive line of the 1-seeded Green Bay Packers back here on the show. How you doing, David?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me back on. I think our relationship's really starting to grow as I'm starting to come on a more regular basis. Only about once a season.
Well, David, I hate to tell you, this is a Tuesday. Your quarterback has a regular Tuesday spot. You know, it's up to you. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Have your people talk to my people then.
Okay. People will talk.
Done.
People will talk. How you doing? What's going on, man? How was it to get back out there on the field in Detroit? First time since last December. 2 Decembers ago.
It was great. I mean, I miss being out there. I didn't. You never really realize how much you appreciate something until it's taken from you. So for me, I just love being out there just with the guys, the camaraderie, competing, grinding, going through the adversity with them on the field. It was very. It meant a lot to me, and it took more than enough time for me to get back out there. So I was very excited.
So is it true that you were planning to just be there with the guys, not suit up and play with the guys, and get back out there on the field for a divisional playoff game until Aaron Rodgers texted you? Is that a true story?
Yeah.
David?
So, the idea was, for me, I feel very confident. I played enough games. I don't really feel like I have like game jitters.
Yes.
So to speak. And I know maybe some coaches maybe like, well, we'd love to see, can you do it? They have that kind of idea of being worried of like, we don't want you having any rust in a playoff game when it's do or die. Because for me personally, as long as I put back-to-back practices, I knock off the rust, I go through the mental gymnastics of certain plays and adjustments, aiming points in practice, I feel good. I don't really need, I've played more than enough games. But then, having Aaron, I think Aaron kind of wanted to see it as well with the coaches, so he kind of shot me a text, and I was like, all right, man, you know what? If you really, really want me out there, we've had such a long history together. I'll do this for you. Maybe you don't believe me when I tell you I don't have rust. I gave him a little shot. I'm like, I know, maybe you have a little more rust than me, or his week one dilemma. But I mean, I went out there; it was pretty smooth. I felt good, and then middle of the series, I was like, you know what? I did more than I even wanted to. I just kind of kept rolling, and no one was even talking to me. I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna try and bite off more than I can chew on the my first game back.
Yeah.
The most important game is the actual playoff one. This is a good test. I think everyone's happy. I proved anything. Not that I really need to prove anything to them, but I proved them that I did fine in the game. So let's just call it a day.
27 snaps, I believe, is the actual count. So was Aaron? Did he just say, "Hey, man, play," or was he passive aggressive? What was he like? What was the text like?
No, he was really sweet about it. He texted me, "Hey, I really would love to see you out there this week." And that was pretty much the beginning of the conversation. And then I told him, I said, let me go through my week progression. I'm going to go Wednesday, I'm going to take Thursday off, I'm going to go Friday. If I like how those 2 days feel, and we don't have any anomalies or variables come into play, then I'll strap it up with you and I'll be out there with you.
And because again, I mean, that's turf too. That's not frozen tundra. You know what I mean? Like, so
exactly.
That's not
the most ideal, not the most spongy surface for a knee joint.
Yeah. And so, what was your rehab like, David? What was it like? And before we start turning to the page to playoffs, but in the past, what was that like?
It felt like it was never ending. I just kept at it, and I've never been through something like this before. So for me, it was figuring out what my new normal was without having any reference of what it was. So before, when I was about to return the first time, I'm like, this doesn't feel great at all. But I mean, I would assume you're not going to feel awesome or the same. But apparently, I guess what I was feeling was not normal for the new normal. So again, I had to go back in and do a cleanup. They call it a scope, and then I really started noticing, okay, this is how I'm supposed to feel. And then obviously with that, the other issue is now I have 2 surgeries underneath my belt. Hadn't fully recovered from the first one yet, so my knee's not the happiest camper. So now it's just trying to get that to come back, and I'm just blessed and pleased that having good communication with the GM and this team that they kept me on the roster and trusting me that I was going to be back and give me every opportunity to come back in time.
David Bakhtiari here on the Rich Eisen Show. You know what else isn't normal? What's not normal is a team wins the conference regular season, right, to get the 1 seed, and then they get healthier. That's not normal. And it's both sides of the ball. It's not just you, right? It's Jair Alexander. It's Smith coming back too. What is the general sense around there about your chances to win a Super Bowl right now, David? What do you got for me?
I mean, that's the number one goal. We saw where we were last year. We have we have a great team, very balanced. We know where our eyes are set, and that's, I think you can kind of feel the confidence in the building, and especially with all of us kind of coming back, that kind of resets a new standard on each of those position groups as well. But at the end of the day, nothing's given, everything's earned. You got to go out there Saturday or Sunday, and you got to prove it. So I think for us, we're excited for our opportunity, and we're just kind of chomping at the bit to see who our opponent is and get that week's, I guess, almost 2 weeks' worth of work and go show it.
Yeah, I know. I mean, because I usually ask, hey, is there the same sense as the last time you were there? And usually that's years apart, not like the next year, like the next year where you got it again. If I'm not mistaken, it was the first time in Aaron Rodgers' career there was a home field advantage throughout, with an NFC Championship game at home for him, right? And so, because the year that he did have home field throughout, never got to the NFC Championship game, as Eli Manning, I think, pointed out during the Manning cast a couple of weeks ago. So is it the same feeling, or the same sense that last year we had this feeling we didn't get it, and that actually gives you a different footing here for January?
Like I said, the feeling in the locker room is confidence, not arrogance, which I like. And yeah, last year we were very confident. We knew we had a really good team, and I think this year we have the same recipe. We got a really good team. Every year's different, but so I'm hoping this year will be the same for the most part, but a little bit different. Obviously, getting over that hump, because I'm 0 for 4 in the 2 championship games, and I would love to finally get over that hump for my 5th one.
Wow. So how is Rodgers different? He said he's out of F's to give, he told Pat last week. So,
yeah.
Do you sense that? Is it different?
Oh, yeah. No, definitely. I think, he's really good at compartmentalizing. He's probably one of the best people I know at compartmentalizing a lot of things going on, not only just from a job perspective, but life perspective. So I'm glad that he's kind of blowing off a little bit of steam and kind of telling people how it is and not just harboring these emotions and resentments, and really just being him, kind of speaking his mind, not really scared of, any sort of backlash. I mean, he's a very bright, intelligent individual. It's okay to kind of show that, not just from a PC standpoint. So seeing him kind of tell people how it is, I think it's great. Because he definitely does it behind closed doors.
He does it behind closed doors with who? With his teammates and with folks?
Yeah, I mean, when we have banter, getting him riled up, getting him on certain topics, and getting him rolling, and it's fun. So I think in anyone that is, gets in front of a camera, has a big broadband when they speak, and it's being broadcast out there, you kind of like to temper some of those certain thoughts and sentiments. And I think I'm happy for him that he's able to just let it out.
I know that, and I've said here before, some of the stuff that he is saying on outside of the sports world, I don't see eye to eye with him on there, but the whole business of him not deserving the MVP because of it is ridiculous. How did that land with you, David?
I think it's hilarious. I think it's kind of, I mean, for me, the fact that it's even something that we're talking about, I think it's something that you can't sit back and, the only thing you can do is sit back and laugh at it. I mean, we're talking about, it's the most valuable player, football. We play football. So judge it for what it is. We're not, it's not the most, valuable person, not the most valuable, person in the world. We're talking about the sport.
Mm-hmm.
So judge the sport for what the sport is, because that's the integrity of getting MVP. So if we're going to the voters or whoever votes for it, I didn't even know how they even go about it or who even gets put in those positions. But if they're going to start tainting how we're voting, then I mean that's their prerogative, and there's going to be ripple effects of that.
There's no doubt, and that's the only reason why I bring it up with you is because it's an actual voter who said it. You know what I mean? If it was just like somebody from somewhere that doesn't have the vote, I wouldn't be bringing it up to you. But that's an actual vote.
I'm hoping they just more wanted it for more like a publicity stunt or something. That is like I'm hoping that was really what they're more going after is like,
no.
you know, because if that's really how they think, man, where are we trending?
David Bakhtiari here on the Rich Eisen Show. And I also had A.J. Dillon on the other day. I love that guy. I'd never met him before. You know, wearing overalls, no shirt, and and you know I've met Aaron Jones and interviewed him before, and I think he's delightful too. But Dillon is kind of a guy that, you know, you can get rolling in the fourth quarter when you got to get this thing wrapped. You know what I'm saying? Like he gives you that option. As opposed to, well, Aaron's got to find Devontae with the chips on the, you know, down and every the game on the line, and obviously that's a good that's a good combination to have with the chips down and the game on the line. But Dillon gives you a different dimension, and I'm wondering what you in the line room thinks of that concept to wrap a game up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like I said before, we're a very balanced team, and even offensively we've gotten more balanced. Seeing him kind of come into his own. And showing him more of his personality as compared to his rookie year, something I actually really enjoy. I've always enjoyed guys who perform on the football field and then start showing their personality, and personality in the locker room, not the other way around. I think kind of Clay kind of instilled that in me when I was younger. It's like as long as you ball, you do what you want to do on the field, you can be whoever you want in the locker room. So we enjoy it. I think he's an entertaining guy, and. I mean, you said it best. He's got those big legs, and he knows how to turn them. And he isn't someone that is going to go down by 1, 2, even maybe 3 guys. And that's dynamically for our offense. Yeah. Adding that other element is great, especially when you talk about closing out a game. We need to get those little bit of yardage. We need him to kind of lean forward. We need to kind of beat up the defense. That's he fits that makeup and that mold to a T for what you want.
Well, David, I appreciate you coming on here and using your real voice instead of that video you put out of you being back, back before and then retweeting it. That was frightening. My children saw it, but that's okay. We got through it. That's not weird at all, but that's, it's okay. That's the way you express yourself. I appreciate it. Straightforward.
No, thank you. I always enjoy being on here.
Oh, no, absolutely. So my people will talk to you people about Tuesdays with David. We can do that. And part of your people, I guess, is Mike Del Tufo, my sound guy, who's got how many shares of Packer stock do you have?
Dose, but I gave one away.
Oh, so you only have one share.
I really only have one, so I'm limited.
So he's still technically up the flow chart from you, David, with that one share. Is that cool?
Yeah, he definitely beating me.
See? You don't have it? Well, didn't A.J. Dillon get some? I think Dillon got some stock in the latest. Right? Did that happen? I think
feel like a few Packers players.
So you didn't get you didn't get any Packer stock, David? You didn't do that?
No.
Too busy rehabbing and just getting ready.
Exactly. Okay. I got to keep the main focus.
That's right. You have no money after you spend it on the golf cart too, right? You're out.
Exactly.
You tapped out.
I think I should have got a paper with that one right there.
Where's the golf cart now? That's got to be in some shed, and it's like 0 degrees out. You're not winging around in a golf cart, right?
No, we roll it all year.
Come on.
Every day going down to practice.
Are you serious?
Nice
Oh yeah. I mean, he's got all-terrain tires. He's got a grill in the front of it. We are prepared for anything that can happen.
So the all-terrain tires were on it when delivered during the summer, in case of this moment where you may have to use it deep into January into February as well. That's what you're saying.
Exactly. The only thing that I have a big issue when it comes to the cart is how he takes care of it. I'm like, can it get washed at least once? I mean, the salt is going to erode it.
It's an Aston Martin.
When I give a nice gift like that, I would at least expect for him to take take decent care of it. But again, it's his gift. That's his. It's not mine.
Okay. And he doesn't tarp it? There's really just the elements? Just go and eat it up?
Well, the nice thing is at least he puts it underneath we park in the loading dock here at the stadium because we have all our facility. Mm-hmm. Everything's all in-house in the stadium, and then we go drive out to practice. So at least it's covered.
Okay.
for the most part.
You're a good teammate, David.
For practice, it's outside.
You're a good teammate, man. You give him all terrain tires in August, just in case, in the event of just now. You play when he texts you, I'd like to see you out there. I mean, there may be eyes in Bakhtiari, in David, but you're really a team player. So appreciate the time here, as always.
No, that's very nice of you, Rich. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me on.
Take care, David. I know you don't do this a lot, so you'd be well, and let's chat down the line next couple weeks.
All right, y'all take care. See you.
Right back at you. That's David Bakhtiari, everybody. He's back. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.